Noisy neighbours City finally silenced Manchester rivals United last season, but after being left red-faced in the Champions League, can the Blues close the gap at the top of the Premiership on Sunday? A festive treat today on Sports Spread. Reuters' Owen Wyatt sitting next to me on this side of the room, and facing us are Bet Butlers Nigel Seeley and Paddy Powers. Paddy Power. Gents, thanks very much indeed for joining us today. Let's start with you, Owen. City, a little bit red-faced about the Champions League, but they still haven't lost in the Premiership. Pretty hard to beat at home? One thing's for sure, Mancini's not going to be getting any money to spend in January whatsoever, I don't imagine. I mean, he'll be lucky to hang on to his job until the end of the season after that performance in the Champions League. Just abject. I think after all the money that's gone into those players, the likes of Aguero and Tevez, they needed to get through the group stage this season. And with Mourinho seemingly on the market, I think that'll be the move next summer. I keep coming out with this thing that Man United took 3 seasons to get through the qualifying rounds? Yeah, but they didn't spend anything like as much money as City have done. City should have bought the Champions League 10 times over the money they've spent. And as for the game this weekend, I think that is a real knock to the City confidence. I fancy United to win this one. OK, Paddy, United, the best attacking record in the league, City the best defence, but if Reading can put 3 past United, surely City can win this one, can't they?
Yeah, it's mildly worrying, isn't it, for both teams really. Like, you're absolutely right about the Champions League. I mean, like, Chelsea eventually got the success in the Champions League, but it took them years to do it, and about 25 managers as well. But they eventually got there. But they were getting through the group stages, you know. But so you're right. So City's confidence will be low. I mean, I don't know if you saw them the other night in the Champions League, the players just didn't look like they gave a damn at all. Like, you know, they were just wandering around the pitch. So I think United will say they're right for the picking. And also, United got beaten twice by them last season. So it's already niggle there, and if they ever need an extra little bit, that's what they've got. So I think United are a big price. They're what price? They're 21-10, bigger than 2-1. So you'd have to think that maybe you'd fancy Fergie to have kept something up his sleeve, and I'd fancy United as well. OK, Nigel, value in this one, what do you reckon?
Well, I mean, if you're an odds compiler and you're a football odds compiler and you make a mistake in Manchester United, you might as well get your P45. I mean, let's be fair, this is the top two, and the only two who can win the Premier League title. I think the value lies on other markets. I think Paddy Power offers so many different markets now in running, all the different cards markets, over and under 2.5 goals, etc., etc. I think the goals are plenty in this match. There's 18 goals in 4 matches. Remember the famous 6-1, but it still averaged more than 3 in the other 3 games. You took that out of the equation. I think if you looked at the cards market, they averaged 6.2 cards in 4 games. There's so much tension, and already at this early part of the season, this is already decided. It will build as a title decided. If Manchester United win this, they go 6 points clear of them. So I think the markets, the value with Paddy Power is to go and back all the majority of the speciality markets. And obviously in running, if Manchester United go 1-0 down, which they've done in 10 games, that don't mean nothing. You get a bigger price. So if Man City go 1-0 up here, just lump on more on Man United and running.
Short.
Yeah, sure, yeah, exactly. I mean, and if you look at it, statistically they go behind so many times, but they have that belief in them to keep coming back and coming back and coming back. So for me, I'd look at the game now, watch the first 10-15 minutes, and I'd tread very carefully. But in running, I think this game will offer some fantastic opportunities. OK, so we're going to actually be filming you as the game unfolds, because we know what you're like. Let's move on to another game we should talk about in West Ham Liverpool. A tale of 2 attackers not playing. So Andy Carroll injured, Luis Suarez suspended. Liverpool without any recognised strikers apart from, Darren Bent? I really fancy, well, not quite yet anyway. I really fancy West Ham here. I mean, they looked very, very strong last week. I mean, it's not pretty football, is it? It's very physical, and I just think they're going to have too much for Liverpool. I think West Ham fans, some of them were on the radio after the Chelsea game saying it was the best day of their life. I think Guardian's Jacob Steinberg was also saying that on Football Weekly this week. OK, fair enough. I think they'll have another fantastic day this week too. I think probably 2-0 West Ham this one. Nigel, how do you get this one? Beating Chelsea, as we just mentioned. Do you fancy West Ham at home? I really do. I mean, they've won this. I think they won this fixture 3-1. Was it the last time they met? I think West Ham at home are always formidable, whoever they play. I mean, the second half performance against Chelsea, and the thing that shocked me. I mean, you know, Chelsea have got these little guys in the midfield who are tactically superb, but they've got some very strong players, physically centre halves, and the way they outmuscle them. Liverpool aren't a very strong physically side, and without Suarez, where are they going to get the goals? Without Gerrard, there's a big doubt about Gerrard as well for this fixture. Where are they going to score? And I just think that West Ham will win this game. I mean, the odds of 2-1 at home, West Ham, and that kind of price is just ridiculous. West Ham, I can't believe without Suarez. I think he's the most influential player in the Premier League. I make it a pick-'em game. I make it 7-4 the pair. I think West Ham will win it 0. I mean, Paddy Power again do these fantastic offers. Look at the win 0. You get West Ham 1-0, 2-0, 3-0. Because without Suarez and Gerrard, if Gerrard doesn't play, where are they going to score? I mean, they're not going to score goals. Stuart Downing? No, I don't think so. I think it's 2-0. I think West Ham win the game.
And Paddy, Liverpool always get so much money put onto them. Does that distort the market in any way?
I think, yeah, I mean, I'd never for a moment suggest that our odds compilers aren't 100% correct all the time, but I honestly think, I mean, Liverpool are just way overrated. I think our head trader must be a Liverpool fan because they're always underpriced. I mean, like, how could you possibly fancy Liverpool against anyone? Really, they're that bad. And I'm an ex-Liverpool fan, like so. But
I noticed
yeah, when I was about 13, back in the good old days, the Kenny Dalglish days and all that. But yeah, so I think Liverpool are there for the taking. I think West Ham will be full of confidence. Big Sam will have he'll have the tactics right. 2-1, I think is. It's really a bit worrying that we're agreeing so much, but I do think 2-1's a big.
What's
price.
worrying here for me is this sort of manager inertia.
Yeah.
So by that I mean Brendan Rodgers' post-match interviews, formidable. Superb. All these superlative adjectives. And then you flick to Benitez, who's just blindly going forward through this Chelsea melee. And it's compelling viewing, I've got to say.
I think with a bookmaker, though, I mean, like Paddy says there, I mean, 11-8, if you're a bookmaker, what a fantastic lay. You know, you look at matches of the weekend, you know, West Ham might be a draw, but as a bookmaker, if you're laying 11-8 Liverpool, you know, you think Christmas has come early, it's 2 weeks too early, because that is just crazy. And the money from the Asian markets always comes in for Liverpool, and they always shorten. Yeah. And they're always a great result when they get beat. I mean, Liverpool last week must have cost the British betting public more money than anybody else. Phil Taylor is the nemesis of the British bookmakers, but Liverpool Football Club last season were the nemesis of the punters. But what a great price to lay on. And they're going to get shorter, you know they are. So if you are going to bet West Ham, you're probably better off to leave it at kick-off because everybody backs Liverpool.
Yeah. OK, well, let's look at some of the other fixtures of the weekend. Where are people going to make money at the weekend?
Well, I think the intriguing one for me, I mean, you've got Wigan QPR. QPR very, very underpriced because Harry's come in, he's going to turn it around. I don't think so. I mean, they're a bad team for a reason. They're 15 points without a win because they're bad. I'm a QPR fan, I'll tell you how bad they are. Aston Villa Stoke, under 2.5 goals without a shadow of a doubt. Back to 0-0, no goals whatsoever. And the interesting one for me here is Southampton Reading. I think on first glance you would make a case for Southampton because they're so good at home, they score so many goals, and Reading is so weak at the defence. But Reading have a fantastic record in this fixture. I think they've lost in the last 6 meetings between the two. I think they won 3-1 last season in that fixture as well. So that one there cries out goals. I think that could be anything. I think that would be two. And Fulham, Owen's side, I think they're in a bit of turmoil. Newcastle in turmoil, but I think that could be another high-scoring draw. I know I've got a history on 3-3 there, but I'm going to go for the 2-2.
Okay. And Paddy, when you look at all these fixtures, what do you reckon? Where are the punters going to be?
I was hoping to pick. I was going to pick West Brom to do Arsenal, but then I was just thinking the wheels have probably come off their season. But I still think Arsenal are worth taking on. They're still underpriced. So I think West Brom are 11-2. They're huge, but I mean for a sneaky fiver type of thing, you know. And then I don't think I wouldn't be backing Arsenal at short price, but leaving them out of all my bets. I do think the Villa game will be a draw. Villa and Stoke. Yeah, I mean it's so obvious, isn't it? It's going to be 0-0 or a lucky 1-1 or something. Yeah, a really exciting one. You won't be setting the alarm for that one. I think Everton Tottenham's going to be a great game this weekend. I think that could be an interesting one. I think that could be a decent high scoring draw. So I'll go for 2-2 in that one.
Okay. Final word to it's the Christmas lunch now, and here are the two Christmas presents. I tipped Chelsea to win the Champions League last year. This is where we're going to get some money on. Arsenal to win the Champions League. Tenner on that. And also QPR to finish 14th. I'd get right on that. I don't agree with you about Harry Redknapp. I would never bet against him, and I think they're going to stay up comfortably.
OK, we are recording, which means that we can...
I don't mind.
This is before the Christmas drink, so it's not after.
Arsenal to win the Champions League.
OK, we'll put you on that one. That is it for this week. My thanks to Owen, Nigel and Paddy. Join us again next week for more United v City, this time Newcastle and Manchester. I'm Nigel Stevenson. This is Reuters.